Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey. We have a couple decks and as always, we're going to ask for consent from the deck that we're going to use for these readings because, we want to be sure that the deck even has a message, that it has the energy to give us a message. So I basically just shuffle until a yes or a no card comes out. And this is a deck that I was looking for. And it was like way in the back of this one shelf that I have all of my decks on that I've been kind of transferring to this other shelf. Anyway, in the process of finding it, a couple other decks went flying. So that was fun. I'm like, I know I'm not going through all of this just for you to say no to me. So, which it has the freedom to do. So, anyway, I was like, what am I talking about? I've been kind of doing a little disclaimer at the beginning, just so we're all on the same page. We have the star. That's a yes card. Okay, good. So, we'll save these two decks for another time. So yeah, disclaimers. I'm not a psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I know these cards and my intention is to give you the message as it is coming through on the card and as it's coming through for me. I always set the intention for the message to come through me, not from me. So however which way and as many different times that comes through, I do like to explain the message of each card because not only does it help me process my thoughts, but you have your own intuition. You're the one that's living your life. So no doubt you are going to receive your own message. Now, of course, be discerning. Don't try to fit a small peg into a round hole. Really listen to that distant voice, not the loud one, not that loud one that most of us have, but the one for me, it's always like off to the right back of my head. And, it's literally, it's like just, it's neutral. It's confident. It's like, it's free of, ego, emotion, all the things, right? So that is the voice that we want to tap into, even if we sometimes don't like what it is saying. Of course, if you haven't already, I would absolutely adore you. Well, I adore you anyway, but I would adore you even more if you subscribe to my channel. Truly, it is an energy exchange. And of course it helps me grow. So it's, just this circle of, growth, because hopefully these messages are affirming or confirming for you, because sometimes too, we just need to have confirmation or affirmation that what we think is going on is actually going on. And that way it frees up the mind space. It frees up our energetic space to be able to focus on the next thing. And truly, I do think that at least the messages that I give are more so along those lines, so that you can be like, oh, okay, that is actually happening. So what's next, right? Like, what do I want to do with this? What can I now focus my time, my energy, my everything on, instead of like staying in this this loop of, is this happening or no? And with all that being said, I know I also didn't get around to the human design profile readings last time around. Life, we roll with it. So hopefully I'll be able to get around to those this time, because I'm sure those were missed. And okay, let's get into the reading. Great. So this is a reading for Aquarius. wherever Aquarius shows up in your chart, I hope you're doing well. Let's see what the message is for you. That one kind of went flying. We have the 9 of Wands. Interesting. I went to this this women's circle thing a couple weeks ago, and there was this girl that was sitting in front of me, and she had a hoodie on that had a wolf that looked like this, and the eyes were glowing too, and I'm like, this thing just stared at me through the whole thing. And I just kept like looking at it and being like, I feel like you have something to tell me. Of course I was saying that in my head. I wasn't like talking to somebody's sweater. Although I did tell her like after the fact when we were kind of dispersing and some people were chatting, and I am too socially awkward to just chat with strangers. I want to get better though. Anyway, I did mention, I don't remember exactly like what I said about it. Maybe there was something else that came up, but I was like, oh yeah, like the wolf on the back of your hoodie was staring at me through the whole reading. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot that there's one on the back too, because there was the same image on the front of the hoodie. Anyway, it's like kind of intense, you know? And even like the focus or the emphasis being on the eyes, you know, like being shown something, the eyes being, you know, the window to the soul. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it comes through, but we have the Ace of Pentacles. The only other time this card came out was in the Sagittarius reading, and it was also the second card. And to me, it like looks like they're offering this pentacle to the first card. Like this one almost kind of feels like trying to bridge a gap or like an olive branch, or like offering an opportunity or something, because they're standing at this ledge here, right? And there's this like field of flowers down here, but it's like they're trying to extend that pentacle out somewhere. We have the World and the Queen of Cups, I believe. And then the Tower at the bottom of the deck. Let me just make sure everything is like in frame. Okay. So the Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, the World, and the Queen of Cups. The Tower, what is that? 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, I believe. So the 9 of Wands is generally depicted as the wounded warrior. Wands have to do with the actions that we take, the motivation behind the actions that we take, creativity, passion. How are you communicating those things? What actions are you taking towards those things? I also see Wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things. We figure out what works. We figure out what doesn't work. What do we like? What don't we like? What stays? What goes? And truly the only way to figure most things out is by doing, by trying. And again, right, I mean, like you pick up a lot of experience along the way. You pick up a lot of skills. You know, and in these 9 wands, to me, like they start representing life lessons. and just how, I mean, not everything is easy breezy, like not every experience, not everything that we try is going to go the way that we want it to, or is going to have the results that we thought it was going to have. So the message with the Nine of Wands is that, like, definitely take a rest as you need it, but, like, you're not quite at the finish line just yet. So also, to me, you could have been putting a lot of energy into a thing. There's one of my favorite Cat Williams stand-up specials. I want to say it's Pimpin' is the special, but there's like one part in there where he's talking about how you just keep trying shit. And if it doesn't work or if it won't work, you like switch it up. So that's like the whole like little bit of this part of the special is that, you try shit, won't work, switch it up, try something else, right? It's just like trying to see what works. And that does become a bit, exhausting, or almost too like it depends on also like how it's living in your head, what stories you're attaching to them. But again, like there could have just been a period of time here where you've been persistent, putting a lot of effort into something, getting a lot of data back about it though, right? I mean, like lots of things have been shown to you, but it's also kind of like waiting for, the right door to open, which we have here with the Ace of Pentacles. But the book says courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience. A lynx, an animal famed for its stealth and cleverness, stands in the darkness, framed by 9 wands. The 9 of Wands indicates that you are very near your goal, but that you have encountered one last setback before completion. This card is a sign of hope and encouragement that if you stand strong in the face of adversity, you will eventually achieve your goal. Like the lynx, you will need stealth and wit to gain insight into the nature of your predicament. The reasons for your troubles may not seem obvious at first, but by moving slowly and with care, the pattern will reveal itself. Mm-hmm. Again, right? Like even with these like glowing eyes here, something being illuminated, like you're being shown, like literally you will see something. Whatever it is, like you'll see the path to take, you'll see the action to take, you'll see the opportunity even. You'll see maybe what is causing the adversity, whether it is something outside of yourself or something within yourself. But again, right, like all of that comes from taking action. I always like with wands, when wands come up, I'll sometimes give the example of like do you know how many hobbies I had picked up and literally spent hundreds of dollars on buying all the shit for, because I was like absolutely convinced that this thing was going to become my new personality and I was going to master it and monetize it and blah blah blah, just to try it and absolutely hate it. Or I mean, there's been plenty of times that I have tried things and have absolutely loved them. There's been times where I thought I was going to hate it and didn't. Like, and anywhere in between. But truly, I figured that out because I did it, because I tried it. And even from that, right, I mean, like you can start kind of deciphering or picking apart, like, I like this aspect of the thing, like this works for me, this part does not. So what can I tweak on that thing to make it more authentic? and be, just more in my image, right? So yeah, starting off strong there. I also love the message of like you're almost there, like, and I love that literally the goal or the new beginning, the opportunity, whatever that is for you is literally the next card. So even like I was saying beforehand, right, how it looks like this little mouse is offering this pentacle, and maybe that is an offer coming in to you from a distance in some capacity, whatever that means. And I only keep saying that because of their, again, they're standing on this little edge here, and there's this field of like flowers, and it doesn't look like it's like a big drop, but they're also not putting themselves in there. So yeah, I don't, like maybe there is an offer that is coming to you. It is something brand new. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time and our energy, which we do usually use in exchange for monetary compensation, right? But like, how are you investing your time? Where are you spending your energy? Where are you physically showing up in your life? It could also be your health, your physical body. Literally anything tangible, anything that you place worth and value on. Aces are new. So there's definitely something that is being extended here to you. Or, I mean, you could be extending an offer to somebody else, of course. This could even just be, like I was saying over here, with something, being illuminated or like something being shown to you. This could just be like that missing piece. Like, I found it, right? Like, I don't know, I mean, people, whatever the people would represent, could want to pay you for expertise, or, to like, what did you already went through all of this, so I'll pay you to share it with me, right? So I don't have to go through it. I don't know, like that was coming through. Truly, I mean, this could even be like literally out of the blue. I just keep staring at this Ace of Pentacles. I also love the purple because that's giving me like third eye, crown chakra vibes. Both of them, which again, even like over here with the eyes being illuminated, like, again, like truly like the path or the right opportunity may be shown to you through your third eye. Like maybe even set the intention for your third eye and crown to be receptive, open, not just to anything though, right? Because I just learned a big lesson in that this last week, about not just being open to any type of energy that wants to float through. But be open and receptive to the perfect opportunity for you and for those involved, for the highest good, right? Of the most people. Not just any opportunity, but the most perfect one for you, for them. And then even the green with the heart chakra. And we do have the Queen of Cups. Speaking of heart chakra. So yeah, we have the Queen of Cups with the World card. The World is the end. It's the end of the world as we know it. Which, dude, it could be. I love how in this World card, there's these two pieces that are breaking off. Which to me, it just feels like what is no longer serving you is literally departing. Whether it's an energy, you know, an obligation, a responsibility, like whatever it is, like, you know, it could be just something that you have been holding on to for whatever reason, you know, consciously or subconsciously. But especially like with the Tower card at the bottom of the deck, like, it's letting go of the proverbial dead weight is how that feels. But the World card, again, it does signify the end of a cycle. It's the completion, the culmination, right? Like, in those terms of the end, not like, you know, because the Death card signifies the end of something too. But the Death card is more like, this has to end so this can begin. The World card is that this is completed and that's why it needs to end. Like, there is a completion, harmonious, you know, thing that is happening in the World card. But it also signifies the beginning of something, because we just go back to the Fool card. So whatever this journey is and has been for you, there is completion coming up to it. Especially, I love though how the first card in the reading says that you're almost there. The missing link, whatever it may be, this opportunity here that is coming in, it will be offered to you, or you'll be extending an offer to somebody else or something else. And then literally the World card after that is like, okay, now we're done. This Queen of Cups here, I see the queens as being when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. We learn to work with it. We learn what it is in the first place, right? We learn to work with it. We learn to give it to ourselves. All of that with the purpose of mastering the energy so that we can move on to the king. And that's when, you know, we can share it with others. We can be an authority and somebody that people look to for guidance. Cups have to do with our emotions. Like I said, speaking of heart chakra, right? How are we feeling about things? How are we feeling about ourselves, about our lives, about the people in our lives? What is our relationship to love? How do we give it? But more importantly, how do we receive it? It's compassion, empathy, intuition also. It's interesting how this queen is like literally a stone, kind of, you know, statue that was placed at the bottom of the ocean. Like, you know, there's that one, I'm pretty sure I follow him on Instagram, but there's that one artist, like that's his whole shtick, is like he creates these stone or concrete statues that they place at the bottom of the ocean, and the purpose is for wildlife yeah, right, fish aquatic marine life, to build, like, it's like to give them a place, a surface to, you know, for coral to grow, and algae, or like, you know, for these little like ecosystems, because, you know, of course, like humans are just like destroying coral reefs, and, you know, global warming and like what all of that stuff, right? So it's like the purpose of this artist, and again, I don't know if I remember. I'm like, do I have a piece of paper around here? No. If I remember, I will try to find. I'll just put it in the comments. So it's interesting because, like, as I'm looking at this card, it almost feels kind of martyry to me. Just, her hand is outstretched towards the surface of the water. Right? It's like being trapped underwater, but like sacrificing herself. This is a whole story that I'm like putting in my head. Like sacrificing herself, but it was like also not what she wanted to do. Like seeing the need for it, seeing the importance of it, and being like, oh, I'll do it. But deep down and truthfully, she didn't want to. And like this body like positioning feels like regret to me. So that's interesting. Like that whole story is interesting. So, and with it being with the World card, stop sacrificing yourself, especially emotionally, whatever that looks like to you. Also, I'm curious what the book says about intuition, imagination, creativity, empathy. The queen swims towards the light. I was like getting this whole like stone, like thing being trapped. Especially too, like underneath, like literally at the bottom of, I'm saying the ocean. And again, right, like with water having to do with our emotions. So just feeling maybe even overwhelmed by emotions, or just, kind of not necessarily lost in there, but just like overwhelmed by them. And just kind of feeling like, again, trapped or scapegoaty, or like I've already said, like having to sacrifice yourself on an emotional level. Anyway, so the Queen of Cups represents a powerful intuitive wave in your life. Frequently, it presents itself as a strong female or a creative boon. The Queen brings a strong connection with subconscious desires and the ability to empathize with others. Be sure not to lose yourself to the needs of others who may come to you for aid. Creativity and imagination are powerful traits. In the presence of the Queen, and now maybe, wait, what? Creativity and imagination are powerful traits in the presence of the Queen. And now may be the ideal time to pour your energies into a new project or hobby. Yeah. It very well also could be like protecting your energy, like protecting your emotional, and because things are just heavy right now overall. So again, just energetically protecting yourself, your heart, your body, your whatever, like your hopes, your dreams, what you are putting your time and energy into. Just be sure that and it literally can be just setting the intention and consciously focusing on that, even if just for, a minute. Making sure that you're checking in with yourself and, am I still on my own track here, right? Tower card at the bottom of the deck. This is Mars. Where is Mars right now? Leo. The Tower is about sudden change, upheaval, foundations crumbling. It could be a bit chaotic, uncomfortable, but also it's like The Tower is only going to affect the things that are no longer serving you. We were kind of talking about that, like with the World card, right? Letting go of the things that are no longer serving you. And if you won't do it, life has a way of doing it for you. Truly, to make space for the things that are trying to come in for you. And also, it's only as uncomfortable as your level of resistance to it. Like if you are trying to resist change or resist letting go of something that is literally trying to skedaddle, then it is going to be more uncomfortable and prolonged. There's this fire here, and there's this full moon back there too. There was a full moon a couple days ago. But when we think like wildfires, because that's just kind of like this whole little town is on fire here. It just like wildfires burn away old, dead brush. Right? But then give it a season, give it a year, give it 2 years of that, and things bounce back even more lush and green and beautiful, as it did before. But you wouldn't have guessed it by looking at the destruction, like seeing everything burnt and scorched, and then literally even like I said, a year later, you see the green popping through, which seems more bright against like a black backdrop, But truly, right, like the purpose of the Tower taking out what is no longer serving you is so that those things that will serve you and are for you can come in. Let it happen. Let it happen. I think it also, like helps you get more clear on what it is that you want to come in. What would be the energy that would replace that? What's leaving, even over here, dealing with another setback, like, okay, that's another opportunity to get clear on what it is that you are creating or that you want to come in. Beautiful. Okay, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.